straight pandemonium in Chicago. Teens are tearing up stores, looting, and ravishing businesses in the surviving areas. Is this a mean that this is attack or recourse of the influx of immigrants that have been using up the resources of the black citizens? Is this their outlash?
I'm Tia Ewing. The Chicago Police Department is using new tactics to fight the teen trends that have been taking place all across the city. Now they're making arrests and making sure that those teens are charged. 40 people were arrested last night, most of them juveniles, some as young as 12 years old, hit with reckless misconduct charges. A 15-year-old was arrested for having a gun with a laser and a silencer on it, and a 17-year-old was arrested for having a machine gun. This 7-Eleven behind me was looted, turned completely upside down. And you're looking at that video showing the teens taking items from inside the 7-Eleven and throwing it around the parking lot. An estimated 300 to 400 teens showed up for this teen trend in the South Loop. There were fights and then there was looting. This all started after 8 at Canal and Roosevelt, and then the teens started spreading out, traveling here just a few blocks to the 7-Eleven. Inside, store employees didn't want to say much, but it's very clear some of their shelves are bare. CPD says they are using new tactics, including using community groups on the ground during the trends to try to get the kids to go home. The founder of Project Hood, he told me he was here.
Young people have to learn when you break laws, there are consequences. And I think sometimes we're a little too easy on individuals who consistently, continuously break the laws and think that it's okay.
We cannot allow the system of white supremacy to discipline and police our children. It's a job within the black community. Remember the old saying, it takes a village to raise a child, where it takes a few good men and women to have their children to be disciplined, regardless of the financial economic status that we're in. There's a big ploy at hand. There's reparations on the table. There's a lot of things going within the black empowerment space. And so those 12 to 20-year-olds that was out there looting and destroying stores, that distracts the main focus of the fight that we on the ground are doing to get the reparations that we're owed.
Chicago police said they had no choice but to move in and arrest dozens of people this weekend during another teen takeover in the South Loop.
And now only on 2, one family wants answers after a security guard died during another incident one day earlier. We begin here at 6 with Marissa Perlman and the arrests.
40 people ages 12 to 20 arrested at this.
12 to 20-year-olds are getting arrested from looting and destroying public property and the businesses around. Is this an outlash from the illegal immigration that this sanctuary city have been imposing on the black residents there? But the problem with this family is that they are now swearing in thousands of illegal immigrants.
There is more fallout tonight, just days after Governor Pritzker signed a controversial bill into law that allows non-citizens to become full-fledged police officers.
A former Chicago mayoral candidate is threatening to challenge the law in the courts if it isn't repealed before taking effect January 1st.
Scott Schneider joins us now in the studio with more on that.
Yeah, Corey, you just mentioned Dr. Willie Wilson, who says this law stands in defiance of federal law when it comes to who can become a uniformed police officer or deputy in this country, while the bill's main sponsor insists the law is tailor-made for DACA recipients. Police officers here in Chicago and statewide have long been required to be citizens of the United States. With a sweep of his pen last week, Governor Pritzker changed that, as Illinois will soon allow non-citizens who are eligible to become members of law enforcement upon completion of training. State Rep Barbara Hernandez of Aurora led the charge to get the legislation passed.
The goal of the bill overall is to allow DACA and permanent residents that are already able to work in this country legally.
Who do you think will be policing our children? Illegal immigrants, non-citizens that has not sworn the citizenship of this state, of this nation. So when we look at this family, we're looking at people or laws a very large majority of them identify as white. Most of the DACA recipients, if not all, are Hispanic. They come from South America and Central America and Mexico. So with that being said, the system of white supremacy are reinforcing and increasing their numbers through the buffer class of Hispanics. As I did a video about 2 weeks ago, majority of these so-called Latino nations identify as white, even the brown ones. And they have Nazi regimes and enclaves within their culture. So we need to unify, organize, and discipline our youth, because if we don't, we're going to have more black deaths under the age of 20.